If you're a business owner and you want to expand your sales channels without adding content creators to a team or spending more money through ads, then most likely email is the thing that you need to be doing. Now, the thing that most businesses get wrong is what they can expect from email versus their outputs. If you don't take the time to create flows and the automations, if you don't take the time to create the campaigns that you need, you won't get anything from that. You can almost treat email like another social media where you're posting a couple times a week, but that's the only connection to social media that you can really have through email. So I want to show you a couple things that I've personally been able to do and achieve through email marketing before I get into showing you how to set it up. So right here, as you can see, the client that I was working with in September, they were able to generate $99,512 for their business. And just through email, we were able to generate $35,676. And that was 35.85% of the total revenue. So email is doing some crazy things for businesses across the world. As you can see in this welcome series right here, they were actually able to generate $16,466 in April. So these are 2 different months where they were generating a substantial amount of their revenue specifically through email. So now that you can see email is exactly what you need to be doing for your business, where do you start? Well, I personally use Klaviyo. You can use Klaviyo, MailChimp, Constant Contact, a whole bunch of different email marketing platforms. I would do some research and figure out what the perfect one is for you. But I specifically use Klaviyo because from my experience, it's got the most integrations. You can have the most analytics out of all the platforms that I used. It's got pretty much every number that I want to see as a professional email marketer. And it's honestly, to me, it's the easiest to use, right? So when you get to the Klaviyo website, this is exactly what it's going to look like. When you press sign up, it's going to take you to this right here. Now, when you fill this out, it's, normal stuff, your email, password, company name, and website, your phone number, and how you'll be using Klaviyo. So once you fill that out, it's going to take you to a confirm your email page. And once you get to the dashboard, this is exactly what it's going to look like. Now, if you haven't already made your account, please stop the video, take some time, and make your account. And then once you're done, resume the video, and we can go through the things that you're going to need to be very comfortable with when you're working in Klaviyo. So hopefully you've got your account created now. Simply, all I'm going to do is go through these tabs. The home section is just where all of your performance, all your numbers are going to be. You've got your total business revenue right here. If Shopify or even Wix can track the sale, then it's be here. See it right there. That was this number. Now your attributed revenue, that just means how much money was generated through email. It'll actually tell you the percent under there. That's where this number is for this screenshot. Under that, you've got your revenue per recipient. So say you've got 20,000 people in your email list. It's take that number and then take this number and then just divide the two. So if you are making $100 per recipient and you've got 20,000 people in your email list, y'all could do the math and tell me how much that is, but that number pops up right there. Campaigns is just how much revenue you've generated from the individual emails that you've sent out or created and sent out yourself. This is no automations. It is the ones under the campaigns tab. And just to reiterate, these are going to be the ones that you make and send out yourself. Those are going to be those weekly ones where you're sending maybe Monday, Tuesday, Friday, those sort of emails, right? Now, your flows are going to be, that's going to be your automation numbers, right? So the ones that trigger specifically based off of a certain action that your customer takes on your website, right? So maybe they view a product, they're going to get a specific email, or maybe they add to cart and leave, they're going to get a specific email, right? So that's going to be your flow, and of course, that's your numbers for it right there. And then this, I assume that's self-explanatory, but that's your total email revenue. And then if you're running SMS, then these numbers are not going to be the same. It's going to be basically these two numbers. So if you generated some through email, then it's going to be that right there, and then plus the SMS. Now, if you're running email and SMS, this number plus this number is going to equal this number, right? So if you run $100 through email, $100 through SMS, you're going to see $200 right there. Pretty self-explanatory, but I mean, that's what that's going to look like. And then when you scroll down, you're going to see all your top performing stuff. So your top performing flows, how much they're delivering, how much you're generating through that, and then how much it increased below. And then same thing for your normal campaigns that you're sending. Now, I touched on this a little bit, but this is going to be your campaign folder, right? So this is going to be those emails that you're manually sending out. You're putting together and then sending them out on a daily basis or on a weekly basis or whatever that time frame looks like for you. And then your flows, that's going to be your automations, right? Those are going to be those things where you can build out and make small changes on to really drive those home. This is actually where I personally specialize in. I specialize in building out these flows so they can maximize revenue. I know how to build out every type of flow that's going to make you money. And if you need it optimized, I'm your guy. This right here, this number got so high. It's because we were building out flows that were generating bank. Just the welcome flow itself generated half of this number, right? So as you can see, you want to get really, really good with flows, because the better your flows perform, the more money that you're going to make. Simple as that, right? So when you get into the sign-up forms, your sign-up forms are going to be those pop-ups on your websites. If this ever wants to load, I'm so sorry. My internet's being super slow right now. But here's some examples. You've got your SMS and email signups, just SMS, basically any sign-up form that you need, announcement forms, shop deals, you can see coupons where you get the offer directly in the sign-up form. I don't ever use those though. But if you need to make a pop-up, if you need to make an email opt-in, this is where you're going to go if you want to capture emails, right? So this right here, the audience, you need to be as comfortable with this as you can possibly be. Now, your growth tools, that's going to give you kind of a hub of everything that you need to set up. And of course, that's going to give you the numbers whenever you set everything up. But your lists and segments, these are going to be what you're normally sending to, right? So let me just give you a little peek of a engaged segment and what that's going to look like. So this segment in particular is specifically going to capture those people who are opening those flows and opening those campaign emails. Basically, any email that you send to them, they've got a higher chance of opening them because they're sitting in this engaged segment. So what happens is if I send an email to this group of people, and if this person has clicked or opened the email, or this group of people have been active on my website for X amount of days, in this case it's 30, then they're going to show up in this segment right here. So maybe it's 80 out of this total 100. That's what this folder is. And the reason you need to be extremely familiar with this is because with email marketing, segmentation is absolutely everything. I'm going to use this chance to actually plug my newsletter, because if you actually refer someone to my newsletter, which is an email marketing newsletter, then you can actually get my step-by-step guide of how I generated $263,000 just by having proper segmentation. So you definitely want to pick that up. I'm going to have the link in the description below to join the newsletter. I'm begging you, send it to someone so that you can get that resource, because I've already made it. It's literally sitting in my unpublished YouTube library for anybody who's got link to view it, but it's not available for everybody. So now that we've gone over the segments, we're going to go into the profiles, and I'm actually not going to click on that right there, because your profiles, that's going to be showing everybody's information. And I do have some people in here for when I was running traffic through it probably about a year ago when I was doing some personal things and trying to set some things up. But essentially that's going to show all of your customer data, right? So it's going to show the emails, any activity that they've done. Maybe they've clicked on an email. It's going to show the exact links, the times that they do things. Maybe they're on your website and you've got tracking enabled. It's going to show you when they viewed a product, when certain analytics tab. I really don't stay in any other folders besides those that I highlighted just now. And essentially your analytics tab, that's where you're going to see all of your numbers, right? So it's going to see, your conversion summary of how much you've made, your campaign performances of clicks, opens, conversions, delivery, things like that. So this is going to be, I probably should have picked a better account for this so that y'all can have some examples. But I mean, they're just going to be basic charts. Anything that you want to monitor, it's going to be right here, right? So other than that, I really don't get into too many things. I mean, you can get into metrics, you can get into benchmarks and things like that. But if you have other resources like I do that track everything else, you don't really need to explore too much. I still would if I were you. I would get as familiar with this as I possibly can. But other than that, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely take a chance, subscribe, and comment down below maybe something I missed or even something that you learned that you didn't know from this video. I will catch y'all in the next video.